Stay on top of stories about stocks that may impact the market or your portfolio today in Stocks Making News.
Well, out-of-stock merchandise may be just one problem plaguing Restoration Hardware. Tracey, Ryniec, Dave Bartosiak, going to check this all out with us here this time around. So, Tracey, apparently this has become a chronic problem with this company. It's already directly impacted the chain's revenue results. May continue to do so going forward.
There's a couple things going on. So in 2015, this company launched two new businesses, RH Teen and RH Modern. Both were highly anticipated, but it is literally launching two big name brands. I didn't know if they could pull it off at the time. I thought maybe they could. They're led by Gary Friedman, who's their visionary, and he's kind of, I don't know what you'd call him, but I mean, he's big in the industry of basically trying to hit the home run every time. So I thought he's trying to go for it here. Hopefully they can, but obviously he managed to strike out for now.
Well, he's the same guy who sent his staff an email recently comparing the company operations to a burning building.
Right. So this is what happened. He dreamed big. There is demand for the modern line. Everybody was anticipating this new furniture line coming out. It's similar to West Elm and that modern style. It's going to be a big brand for them, and it's already launched quite big, but that was their problem. They came out with this huge source book, which is their catalog. It was several hundred pages. They got very ambitious. The orders came in, and then they couldn't really fulfill them all. So they had logistic problems, fulfillment problems. They had a lot of stuff go on back order. Some of the customers decided not to wait, 3-4 months for their new couch or whatever piece of furniture it was. I mean, we all know sometimes it takes a while to get, new pieces of furniture, but this was longer than expected. So they were canceling orders. This impacted their numbers. They already pre-announced and said that the same-store sales are only going to be at 9%, which is still a great number, but not as good as what they were doing. Now, the RH Modern, they have one standalone store for that brand so far in Los Angeles. Gary has already said that that store is doing very well. There are other big gallery stores. That's also where they're putting a lot of their money, and these are like far larger than anything you've ever seen. It's going against the industry, a trend to downsize. He's actually making them bigger, but those have also been performing well, and they're expected to open up several more of those this year. So the problem with them is they have to get past this, these short-term logistical problems. The brand it's going to be growing pains while they build out this brand plus RH Teen. But their overall story of this brand being, quite popular, I don't think is going away.
You got to keep merchandise in stock. That's the problem, right?
Well,
right?
Obviously.
Yeah, it's one of them. Anyway, they report complete results for the quarter and full year on March the 29th.
Right.
We'll see what happens there. In the meantime, Dave, since January, this stock has fallen 50% or more. Is that right?
Yeah, it's pretty rough. And I think that dive deep down started in like November-ish, right?
Yeah.
That's when we were up. If you take a look at the chart here, that's my fancy new telestrator, all the way up at 103, right? And that's kind of right after that kind of initiated this downturn down here below the 21-day moving average, with a shorter-term moving average I like to use. Coming all the way and hopefully maybe making a base here in the mid-30s. But there's still a lot of negative momentum in this name here. It's one of those things where you could go ahead and start to go long if you believe kind of in a longer-term story, a longer-term turnaround.
Like Tracey?
I have been buying at these levels. It's trading at 12 times.
Yeah, see,
No, you're telling me no?
I don't care. I don't care about valuations, Tracey.
All Dave knows is when he goes in there looking for something, it's not there, okay?
Right. I got a couch, but that's not from Restoration Hardware, from the good people at Apt in Glenview. Anyway, but, so when you see a stock like this that has bounced off of support there a little bit, you don't need to wait for this market to start to turn around before you go ahead and add some shares in it. So this is something where I think it's stabilized a little bit. Obviously, you'd like to see it bounce back above that 21-day moving average, right? Give you some short-term momentum. But if you have money on the sidelines, You could buy this here and put your stop kind of just below the recent price action, so 35-ish, right? So you're not going to risk that much money in the downside, and you got plenty of upside potential. Or if you've been dollar cost averaging in the whole time, you don't care anyway, because eventually it'll turn around.
All right, so Tracey, you do own it.
I do own it, yes, and I am adding to my position at these levels.
And I'm guessing you don't own it.
I don't own it, but if I was going to keep it around forever, if I was in Tracey's shoes, I'd be adding to it too.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I guess going forward, we're going to have to keep an eye on it, maybe take stock of this somewhere down the line. In the meantime, if you want any more information on stocks, commentary, stock picks, that sort of thing, get on over to our website, Zacks.com. Link to it all off the homepage. With Tracey and Dave, I'm Terry Ruffalo.